Want to get depressed now?
No, I just worked myself out of depression.
I know.
No.
I know.
What? Tell me.
All right, so this Yoshi P interview.
Oh, wait a minute. We're done. We're done with the Soken interview?
Yeah.
We're done with it? That was it?
Done. That was it.
Fuck. Well, this is hopeless.
All right.
I don't have much hope. Before we get to the Yoshi P interview, I do want to give our listeners a chance to chime in on this. Let's go to Meterman of Cactar. What's going on, Meterman? Hello? Meterman.
I'm pushing.
There you go.
Yeah, hey, we can hear you now.
Hi. Now we can hear you. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio.
Thank you again. I wanted to input. Soken is one reason why I keep playing, because while I'm driving around, delivering whatever I'm doing, I'm driving, I'm listening to Soken. I'm listening to every bit of Final Fantasy XIV music I could get my hands on. I come home at night going, you know what? I just heard Susano, and I want to do Susano. Even though it's a simple fight and it takes like 6 minutes. I want to hear that theme. I want to be in the middle of it. And that is awesome that Soken, basically took over from Nobu, because I never got that when I played 11.
Well,
I never did.
And I think the challenge that that the Final Fantasy series had moving.
Let's complain about it. Bring back Juxta's drops.
God damn it! Fine. Juxta's drops are back.
Let's complain about it.
God damn it. Don't make me. I will take them away again.
I'm good. My hands are in the air.
You're disappointing the audience.
They liked that joke. It was a good one.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Right. Anyway, Meterman, to your point, though, I do think that Soken does an amazing job on this game. And I think that it is one of the things that, removed from the game, removed from my frustration about the way that the game has been developing, that has been one of the constant positives about FF14. Now, I know that I've said, now I'm sure that there are some people that want to try to keep me honest out there, and good on you, that's fine, I appreciate that, and they're probably going, but Nero, I remember you saying that you didn't like the music for Stormblood.
Yeah, you said that once.
I did say that. And it's true. And it's true. I don't actually like the music for Stormblood that much. Then that's not... I don't know that that's anything necessarily to do with Soken, but I think it has more to do with the setting of Stormblood. It has more to do with my inclination to not like Japanese culture, and really that's even a misnomer, because I've said that more than a few times. What I don't like is the Western fetishization of Japanese culture. That's what bothers me. Very specifically, whether it's anime, whether it's video games, whatever it is, it's this constant fetishization and like hyper focus on, well, everything that comes out of Japan must be awesome. And I think that was the case for a long time, because our exposure to things coming out of Japan were very limited, right? Like, anime came over in very limited quantities, and at first was very hard to find outside of like places like I don't know. I went to Dixieland Flea Market once to buy a bootleg subbed version of Dragon Ball Z, right? so like there was a market need for it, and so we ravenously consumed everything that got imported. And I don't think that it's just video games. I think that it was anime. I think there was a lot of Japanese culture. But then there were people who really got stuck on it, who really got obsessed with it, and formed the basis of their character identity around it. And we
refer to them as the first weebs.
And they started to do really dumb weeby shit, like walk around with that specific hair bun that you would see in Japan, or they would do
wearing kimonos.
They would wear kimonos, stuff,
wooden sandals.
Which is, when you get right down to it, when you strip it down, that's cultural appropriation, is what it is.
And that's illegal.
No, it's not illegal. It's just insensitive, and it's dumb, and it makes people feel uncomfortable, because they look at you and they're like, well, dude, clearly that's not yours.
Yeah.
You're borrowing that from somewhere else.
You shouldn't be arrested, but you should be slapped.
Not that that's wrong. It's just lazy. That's all it is. It's just lazy. It's uninspired. And I get it. Listen, some of us out there don't really think about what we wear very often, and when we do, it's foolishness from end to end. Like when people actually thought that those shiny, silky shirts with big prints of Goku on them were cool. Those are pretty cool. Spoiler alert: those were never fucking cool.
But they feel good.
Only if you had the
SSJ4 one.
Listen, only if you had your tongue firmly planted in your cheek was it cool, and then. You had to know that, because the first person that would come along and go, the fuck is that? You wouldn't laugh along with the joke and get self-conscious about it. Right? Like, I'm sorry, was I the only one that experimented with really shitty fashion when they were 12 years old, 13 years old?
I have a shirt like what you were referring to, but it's a Spider-Man shirt, not Goku.
It's okay, fine. Same theory, different fucking character.
I don't wear it out of the house, though.
What about Hawaiian shirt?
Wait, hang on. You had to have worn it out of the house at least once.
Oh yeah, but not anymore.
And someone said some shit.
No, nobody said anything. I think at one point, like I'm at the point now where I pick it up and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Then they said some shit with their eyes because you were able to feel it, whatever it was. You were able to feel that judgment.
I just figured it out at some point.
Oh, then you are congratulations.
It was my own judgment.
Congratulations, you have self-awareness.
Yes,
you leveled up.
Woo!
So listen. No, those shirts were not fucking awesome.
Yeah, they were.
They feel nice, but you don't wear them out of the house.
Like the shiny ones?
Severin85 in our chat says those shirts were awesome. They definitely were not.
I had a shirt once that was like a button shirt, and it had like a spider web like print on it.
Oh no!
And it was like metallic silver, like in the in-game dyes, and it was really cool.
Well,
I wore that to school a lot.
Honestly, those shirts are really just extensions of those really, really bad club shirts that people used to wear in the 90s. They used to wear them out to clubs, and they'd have like the puka shell necklace, and their hair would be too gelled to their head.
The guy who did it would be
slick forward and spiked up like Ricky Martin would. Yeah, no, we all did that.
The hair glue?
Like all of us to some degree or another did that shit.
At BlizzCon, the guy who did the World of Warcraft presentation was wearing one of those shirts with like Illidan's pattern on it.
That guy's so cool.
No, he wasn't. He really wasn't.
Because of his shirt.
No.
Awesome.
No.
Anyway, Meterman, thank you for the call. We appreciate it. If you'd like to give us a call, talk about whatever you want. If you want to, I don't know, you want to talk about shiny Goku shirts, then give us a call.
Tell us why we're wrong.
Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. No, you're not. You're going to have, listen, if you want to call up and argue shirts,
fashion,
you're going to have a tough time.
You said you wouldn't yell.
I did. You know what? In all fairness, I did say I wouldn't yell.
Yep.
I did say that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I did.
You have to have a rash. I can yell, though.
Did you ask me if I have to have a rash?
No, I was about to say that you do have to have a rational conversation, but then I realized I could yell.
Well, I don't have to have a rash for you to call in.
Yeah.
Do you have a rash?
I don't have a rash.
What if every time someone called in, you developed a rash? Think that would get them to call in?
I think, you know what? If you guys want to make my depression really, really bad, I might be able to do that. Like, sometimes depression does weird things to people.
Make you a rash?
Does your depression give you a rash?
Sometimes, yeah, if it's really bad. Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Your depression is literally trying to kill you.
Oh, I know.
Your body's like, we can't take this. Just,
where does your
just self-destruct.
Where is it coming?
I mean, all around my crotch area.
You sure that's from depression?
That may be crabs.
That's not a depression rash? You're sure? You're sure?
Because like I got the same rash, but it was not like on my loins. Then just realized I was chafing.
Chub rub, it's called.
Chub rub. Yeah, exactly.
So.
You should probably go to the doctor.
Oh.
And not have sex.
Well, but that's not going to. I mean, that's not. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to stop having sex.
Well, I mean, with like your hand is fine, but like other people, blow up dolls are probably fine too.
Don't chase away anyone that you want to have sex with again.
Well, wait a minute.
The penalty is AIDS.
What?
Oh my God!
What was the first part of that?
Okay, I'm just gonna replay that one because we have to hear that again. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Like, that was all my.
All right.
I can't get it. It's not popping up.
Oh, you failure.
A little bit.
The P in the penalty is AIDS?
The P in the penalty is AIDS.
I guess so. The P and the penalty? Is that it? Dude, you guys have got to fucking type your shit better. Like, honestly, if you know that if you know that a text-to-speech voice is going to read your shit, why don't you proofread?
Or just type it phonetically rather than actual spelling.
That too.
You're asking way too much of our audience.
I know.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Okay.
You guys ready?
I think we're asking way too much of Juxta.
That's probably true as well.
I can do it right now.
You said you could do it, and then it took 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, not 4 minutes.
We're going
it was
on
like 30
5 now.
seconds.
The P of the penalty is AIDS.
The P of the penalty is AIDS.
The fuck does that mean?
I'm really trying to figure it out.
I think the meaning is the journey that we had along the way.
Maybe. maybe this guy is as clever as David Lynch and has figured out
TPIA. The penalty is AIDS.
Oh! I get it now.
And we got more money from him. Idiot.
TPIA. We can make that shorthand now that we understand what the fuck you were driving at. And it wasn't going to PIA.
To P to penalty. I don't even know.
TPIA.
AIDS!
All right.
Anyway, so did we decide that I have to go to the doctor now?
Yes.
Oh.
Please.
Or
Don't-
not.
don't scare- don't-
Maybe you don't have to.
Don't scare this
Do
doctor
you have,
away.
well, hold on. Do you have the rash right now?
I mean,
Because you're not depressed right now, right?
right. No.
So there's no rash.
the rash went away.
Okay, then you're fine.
Yeah. See, that's what I
So
was
it
thinking.
just goes away.
Right.
Okay, you're fine.
You do know that I had to use implements where you were sitting like a crotch post while I had it, right?
And implements?
I mean, just everything. Everything in your general area over there. If I wasn't masturbating, I was using it to itch my itchy crotch,
Including the straw?
including the straw.
Okay, this interview, guys. So
I'm sorry. We needed a brief palate cleanser in between the two.
Sloppy.
fair.
If you want to give the show a call, Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. We will take one more call before we get out of here. We've got about
15 minutes.
About 15 minutes left in the show.
How about that?
Also, we'd love to hear your feedback also on what you think of the new 2-hour format. So you can feel free to send those. You can tweet us at Limit Break Radio. Find us on Facebook at Limit Break Radio. And you can send us email, hosts@limitbreakradio.com.
All right. So the first question was, what's been the response so far to Stormblood? Yoshi said that they didn't
No.
actually.
Keep talking.
They didn't expect such a record-breaking number of subscribers. He said that they received a 90% on Metacritic, which Yoshi P points out, that's something that's hard for an MMO to do, and he is very proud of Stormblood and wants to keep the momentum going as they offer new ideas and plan for the next expansion.
Yeah, that is, you know what, that is very difficult for an MMO to do because the standards, the expectations are so high around an MMO and at least they were. Like at some point they were. And then we got a run of a whole bunch of shit MMOs that took the legs out from the idea that MMOs could be successful.
Tabula rasa!
And then you saw a whole bunch of developers pull back, right? Like I actually think a lot of what FF14 suffers from is the era in which it was developed, because this was the tail end of the second or third generation of MMOs. And I think we're in a period now where, you know, the technology and some new ideas have got to shake out in places like Ashes of Creation, in places like Age of Conan. And you know what? Maybe Square Enix moving on to a new MMO is not the worst thing that I've ever heard of. The problem is that can they as a company justify it?
Or will they?
They won't.
So this next question, this is the one that really got me going. The question was, do you feel that things are getting easier with each update or harder because you are adding so many new things?
Hashtag sarcasm.
What?
/S.
I hope that was sarcasm.
Hang on. Who's this interviewer? Is this Gaming Union?
GamingUnion.net. Yup.
Listen, let
Did I play this game? I don't know if they do.
Let me just draw a distinction between the caliber of questions that are being asked in this interview and the caliber of questions from Chili that we read on the last episode.
Aw, I love chili.
I love Chili too, and I love Chili even more because they ask the right fucking questions. They ask good questions in that PlayStation Universe interview. Gaming Union, I don't know what fucking amateur you're sending out to your shit, but they're not doing a good enough job to justify the opportunity to sit down with Yoshi P.
Well,
sorry, they're not. This is fucking abysmal. These questions suck, and if Square Enix doesn't know that these questions suck, then Square Enix is just as stupid as fucking Gaming Union.
I'd be surprised if Square Enix booked the interview and said, we have the questions we want you to ask, because these are all very self-serving.
I swear to God, Square Enix books interviews with outlets that it doesn't know, and then ignores an outlet like us because they know us, and yet we say the wrong shit. Like, obviously,
we say the wrong shit.
See, that's the thing, though. This is okay. Listen, if you want to know whose side we're on your side. We're on the community side. We're on the player's side. We're not on Square Enix's side. And if you need any more proof, they don't fucking talk to us. They don't reach out with us. They don't reach out to us. They don't even try to work with us at all.
Are you afraid to fight me?
They did it once, and that went fine. But, I mean, listen, they're too close to this shit, man, and they've lost objectivity, and if they were fair, they would have brought us in as a part of the process. But they get all butthurt, and they get their feelings confused with business, and at the end of the day, they miss opportunities to answer tough, insightful questions from outlets, not just like Limit Break Radio, but like countless other places. Okay, I understand. Listen, we're an entertainment brand, and we have no right to claim that we should break news. I'm not saying that we should. I'm just saying that Square Enix is pissing away an opportunity, and a really creative opportunity, to genuinely interact with their community, and because they don't, it just makes us more cynical. It just makes us more frustrated. And yeah, you know what? We take it out on the game because that's what we're frustrated with. And is it because they're not working with us? No, it's because of a lot of other things which we have gone to great lengths to explain. But they're not making it any better. They're not utilizing the opportunities that they have. They're not opening up a conversation with us, the community. Okay? If you want to put this into an us versus them dichotomy, and you don't have to, but if you want to, we are on the side of the community, and we are challenging what Square Enix is doing. Now, not all of the community is going to see it the way that we see it, but I think that we've made a really good case in the 3 years that we've been on the air, in our actual content, in our fucking show format, that lays the groundwork to say, listen, we're the ones that you can trust, because we're not going to bullshit you, we're not going to jerk you off, and we're not going to tell you the shit that you want to hear. Period. And that's from every atom of this show. Every single atom, whether it's being serious or being funny. We are challenging convention. That can be hard, and it can be scary. But I think we do it fairly well.
We do. And I'm glad that even just the question got you primed and fired up, all right? Now, before you say anything, I want you to let me finish the whole response, and then I'm going to let you out of your cage, okay?
Asshole.
The answer, and this was, again, has it become easy or harder for you with each update? Yoshi P says the development team is very efficient. And this next part, direct quote, that being said, if you're just creating the same thing, then this will make the players who play the game and also those who create the content quite bored. That's why I like to give them new challenges and new objectives. Also says the team is always coming up with new ideas, and they get so excited that he has to rein them in, and because they're so passionate, but they have such a limited time frame to work on things,
bullshit,
that a lot of that doesn't get done.
Bullshit.
What?
Come on, man.
I don't.
Come on. Nico, what do you think? I mean,
that just squeals bullshit.
Right?
Like, that's a fluff answer. that doesn't give any real answer.
Okay, and I want to respond real quick to Mooney Tenkaichi in the chat, who says, I don't think SE wants to be yelled at. That's fair, but I think, listen to any of our interviews, dude. Listen to any of our interviews. There's a difference between what we present on the air as a part of a joke program and when we sit down and do a serious interview. And the fact of the matter is that we can do both. That
Just look at LBR versus Reddit.
Yeah.
When we sat down with Iane. Were we yelling at that person?
Exactly.
No, we had an intellectual discussion.
Exactly. And see, people call us up all the time, worked up on their own bullshit, and they want to try to yell at us or try to say some racist shit on our channel, and we, instead of shutting down, we always engage. Always engage. Sometimes it's not productive, and sometimes it takes the form of yelling. But you know what? If Square Enix wants to have an honest conversation, then they've got to accept the frustration that comes along with it. The frustration that is inherent in our community. This is not something that we've tapped into. This is just something inherent. This is that we've all kind of moved into a spectrum into this way of thinking. There's been a shift in the FF14 community. And I understand that there are some people who may have difficulty moving on or they fear change. And they don't. And so they sit around and they jerk off to FF14. And this is where we get the Kotaku article. Right? Mm-hmm. Not fun.
Lots of jerking off on that one.
Not fun. This is what that says. Yoshi P. If I can make an appeal, I know that there are a few people that work at Square Enix that listen to this show.
It's their job.
It is their job. I do want to make an appeal. Okay, I do want to make an appeal because when Kotaku, and I don't know who you need to present this to who will be receptive to this idea, but when Kotaku, arguably one of the largest gaming blogs on the internet, is writing about the way for 2 weeks in a row that your users jack off instead of the way that they play your game. In the wake, by the way, in the wake of your quote-unquote most difficult content ever, Unending Coil of Bahamut,
30th year anniversary Final Fantasy.
This is what people are talking about. And again, I do not hold that author responsible. It's us as users. They're just reporting on the fact of the matter that we're bored enough to figure out ways to digitally fuck each other. Come on, guys. Come on. Are we not better than this? Are we not better than this as a community?
I mean, we are, but as Balmung and Leviathan? Nah.
Get your shit together, man. I mean, I know that we've jokingly made fun of them, but like, this is why. Like, if you needed to understand why we poke so much fun at the RP community, A, it's because they take everything so fucking seriously that it's really funny to watch them overreact. And B, because, you know what? Some of this actually does damage. Some of this actually does perception, like in terms of the way that outsiders look at FF14.
Perception is reality.
Yes, this does damage. Mm-hmm. So, but again, this is not something that can be regulated. This is one of those weird areas of, sexuality is one of those weird areas. We can't legislate it. We can't make rules about it.
No, but if they had real content, they'd be doing that instead.
Exactly. They
or at
wouldn't
least writing about it.
They wouldn't be bored. If nothing else, I'm not trying to say that the FF14 community is full of perverts. What I'm trying to say is that the FF14 community is full of bored people.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Bored people fuck.
And bored people fuck. And what happens when bored people fuck?
We get baby boomers who just steal all of our economy.
No, you get stupid babies, and that's where Juxta's stupid baby.
Hey, my baby's very smart.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
She told me.
I mean, if we look at the genetics she's inherited,
I mean, yeah. Given
If we look at the genetics she's inherited, she should be like 20 pounds by now.
given given the odds, listen.
And she is in the bottom 5% of baby weight right now.
Given, okay,
not
that's cool.
necessarily good,
That's cool.
right?
That's cool. No, now
Bottom 5%?
now
That's not
she's
good.
she's gonna end up inheriting your IQ minus your wife's IQ, or not minus the baby mama's IQ. Let's put it that way.
So she'll end up with like 8,000 IQ?
No. You can do the math. I'm not gonna explicitly. Listen, I'm saying you're stupid. Is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah, you're dumb.
But I'm a smart.
You're dumb.
I'm the intellectual.
And I think the baby's mom was dumber.
Oh.
She's really gonna get her feelings hurt by that. She probably shouldn't listen to this episode.
You never listened to that episode.
nobody
Good.
should listen to this episode because Yoshi P is about to hurt our feelings. guys.
Watch. She pops up in the chat room. Watch. The one day. The one day.
She's popped up in there before.
I
We've
know.
made fun of
I
the
know.
baby.
I know.
She just has like sensors listening for baby, and when it pops up, she's like,
That's right. She wants to defend her stupid baby. It's a joke.
Aw, poor Bert.
It's a fucking joke.
Called it.
Mooney Tenkaichi says Nero hates sex confirmed. Yeah, I do.
What?
Sex sucks.
it's a part of it.
It's just
Sucking is part of sex.
yes, that is true. It's just distracting. Fucking is a huge distraction, at least for my life, and I need to fucking minimize that part of it.
It's still fun though.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not dumb.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So the next question was, how many people involved with
This is the last question, by the way, so make sure that it's a good one.
Oh, hold on, because that's really not the best one.
Okay.
Here, throwback. Do you ever think FF11 will stop? And if so, is there room for another FF MMO in FF14? He also asked how the development on FF11 is going. Surprisingly, Yoshi did have insight on this. He said because that they're within the same, I guess, like branch or the same, what's the word I'm looking for? The whole MMO thing, he does know how it's going, right? He said that the FF11 mobile version is in the fine-tuning stages, and a big official announcement will be made when the time is right. But there are no plans for the FF14 in the mobile department.
That's good.
And he also says that having multiple...
That's probably good. I think that's probably good. They're spread a little bit thin, and it's kind of fucking obvious.
Yes, and he said that having multiple MMOs within the same company is kind of unnatural, and it's been very, very weird. He says as long as people love and play them, they'll continue to do the service, but should FF11 stop, he doesn't think that there would be another FF MMO so long as FF14 is in development. He says it makes more sense to expand what they have with FF14, and... I don't know. If I were to guess myself a free-to-play model, right? Then put those resources into something completely new that would then be a competing game.
You know, I have to wonder if Square Enix internally looks at the development staff between FF11 and 14 differently, or if they're just kind of like the MMO staff, and they've got to figure out how to
Allocate?
Yeah, how to disperse the responsibilities between them. I never thought about that. I never actually that never occurred to me.
because it actually surprised me that he said like straight up, he's like, yeah, I know exactly where they are with it.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That is really interesting.
And it's also interesting that we're hearing an official, unofficial word from Yoshi P, not the actual developers of 11.
That's what I'm saying though. I mean, because the development of that got farmed out to Nexian. Was it Nexian? It was some kind of mobile.
Some outsourced company.
Yeah, it was some mobile developer that people were like, "Oh God, here it goes.
Yeah.
This is clearly not going to be good." I have to wonder if that subsequently changed, or maybe if Yoshi P's overseeing it. But yeah, they have definitely been very tight-lipped about the program. That's for sure. All right, well, it's 6:00.
And hot damn, our studio is empty. What the fuck? Where are you people?
It's because nobody's online.
Nobody's online.
Nobody's online.
Honestly, when I was doing my Extra Life stream, there must have been anywhere from 5 to 10 people that came in and said, hey, I don't play the game anymore, but I still listen to you guys. Or I'm paying my sub, but that's only because I listen to you guys, and if you quit, I'm quitting too.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
We have our own sphere of influence.
Mm-hmm. We do.
And I mean, there are other people out there who are dissatisfied with the game But this kind of exposes one of the inherent flaws of doing a show like this.
Yep. Mary Kennett, I can't visit the studio. I unsubbed.
Mary Kennett is one of our
most stalwart supporters.
One of our longest term supporters.
If I could chop a limb off of Juxta and send it to someone, it would be Mary.
It makes me worry. Dude, people have not understood fundamentally why we've been moving towards Final Encounter Cast and Checkpoint Radio. And I mean, like, this is the problem that a media brand that attaches itself to another brand. I mean, listen, you can get a lot of attention very, very quickly like that. It's
Live by the brand, die by the brand.
Going niche
Just
is
like
not a
Hanzo
bad
Steel.
thing. We knew this, though. We knew this because we had already gone through it with FF11, that it doesn't last forever.
We knew this had a shelf life.
Absolutely. And so if we were going to...
We even identified that back in, like, 2.x when we were having fun with the game and we were, like, on the Final Fantasy 14 high gravy train when we were having fun.
Yeah, no. Hang on. And actually, the origin of that thought even goes before we started Limit Break Radio again.
When we were back when we were first talking about bringing Limit Break Radio back.
Yep. We had all kind of mutually decided, like, listen, FF11 showed us that this shit has a shelf life, and that we have less to do with that than we like to think.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of self-serving and egotistical to go, well, we can prevent the game from failing if we try hard enough. That it's a nice thought. It's a nice sentiment, don't get me wrong, but it is inherently flawed.
Assuming you don't work on said project.
Exactly. So, it's a difficult prospect. And I think, listen, we held on to that 3 hours as long as we possibly could. As long as we possibly could. Longer, we saw a value in that third hour long past our audience seeing value in the third hour. But listen, we haven't gotten that much a response. And your silence, to me...
is an answer.
Is an answer, and that says you're okay with it. And sort of like, say nothing, if you're okay with it. Okay, that's what I can. How do you glean an answer from no input?
They don't care.
They don't care, and if you don't care about the third hour, that's fine. But just if you do care, let it be known, so we're not making huge mistakes. But at the same time, man, listening to the last episode of Limit Break Radio. It felt right. 2 hours feels right. I feel like we burn out after 2 hours. Doing 3 is tough.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can be convinced. Sound off.
I can't. Go fuck yourselves.
Sound off. Sound off on social media. You can find us at Limit Break Radio on Twitter, Limit Break Radio on Facebook. You can let us know in the Twitch chat. We'll be watching that for a little bit. And you can always email us over at hosts@limitbreakradio.com.